The most shocking moment caught on live television. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just as we've always been bringing great content that keeps you intrigued and glued to your phones or whatever device you might be watching this on, today isn't going to be any different. Live TV is a part of almost everyone's dream. However, as good as it can be to be on, it can either be your best friend or worst nightmare. Nevertheless, irrespective of the way it goes, the unpredictability makes entertainment great. As you know, weird things happen on TV, but weirder stuff even happens on live television channels, and that is exactly what we're getting into today. For the next couple of minutes, I'm going to be talking about the most shocking moments caught that have been caught on live television. Yeah, I'm talking about those interesting and shocking situations you somehow missed. It may be fun, it may be sad, it may be scary. But whichever way, let's get into the list. The O.J. Simpson car chase. Apparently, after O.J. Simpson was asked to surrender to authorities due to him having a connection with the murder of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, O.J. Simpson, along with former teammate Cowlings, led the police on a low-speed car chase on the Los Angeles freeway. With Cowlings at the wheel of the white Ford Bronco and O.J. seated next to him, holding a gun to his head, the pair were tailed by police for over 2 hours before surrendering in Simpson's driveway. According to the Associated Press, almost 95 million Americans watched the chase unfold live on TV, making it cable's highest-rated program for the year of 1994. A news anchor committing suicide on live TV. Christine Chubbuck was an American television news reporter who worked for WTOG and WXLT TV in Florida. In the year 1974, after covering some news stories, when the film reel of a restaurant shooting had jammed and would not run, she shrugged it off and said on camera, "In keeping with Channel 40's policy of bringing you the latest in blood and guts, and in living color, you are going to see another first attempted suicide." She drew the revolver and shot herself behind her right ear. Strange, you say? Christine was suffering from a Great Depression. She was so sad that 3 weeks before her death, she had asked permission to do a news piece on suicide. She even went further by visiting the local sheriff's department to discuss methods of suicide with an officer. Wow, what a sad situation. Krista McAuliffe. Krista McAuliffe was selected from a pool of more than 11,000 applicants for NASA's Teacher in Space project to become the first civilian sent into space. It would have been her task to communicate to students while in orbit. Unfortunately, on January 28, 1986, McAuliffe never even got the chance to exit Earth's atmosphere. 73 seconds after the shuttle Challenger blasted off, it broke apart and exploded, killing McAuliffe and her 6 other crew members. Due to the teacher's presence on the ship and the general excitement over sending a non-professional astronaut into space, many school children watched the horrific accident on live television. McAuliffe was posthumously awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor in 2004. Murder on live TV. A news reporter, Allison Parker, and photojournalist Adam Ward were employees of CBS affiliate WDBJ in Roanoke, Virginia, who were fatally shot on August 26, 2015, while conducting a live television interview near Smith Mountain Lake in Monetta. They were interviewing Vicki Gardner, executive director of the local Chamber of Commerce, when all 3 were attacked by a gunman. Parker was age 24 and Ward was age 27. They died at the scene while Gardner survived. The gunman was 41-year-old Vester Lee Flanagan II, also known by the professional pseudonym of Bryce Williams, a former reporter at WDBJ. The station fired him for disruptive conduct in 2013. After a 5-hour manhunt, Flanagan shot himself during a car chase with police officers and died later at a hospital. Bouncing male privates in Dallas Cowboys locker room. Sports fans got a little more than they were expecting when they tuned into Dallas's news channel WFAA to hear some post-match comments about the Dallas Cowboys losing to New England. Cutting from the studio to some pre-recorded footage of the players holding their heads in their hands in the locker room, WFAA accidentally broadcast some pretty blatant male nudity. As the camera focuses on a despondent player with his head looking at the floor, one of his teammates walks by in the background and the camera almost perfectly frames his bouncing male private. It's unbelievable that the professionals in post-production somehow managed to completely overlook this, as it's really hard to miss. Unsurprisingly, this isn't the first NSFW moment that has been captured in a post-game locker room, but it's really funny. Tsunami strikes. In 2011, CNN reporters were covering the aftermath of a powerful earthquake in Japan. Live broadcasts captured the landfall of a giant tsunami with waves as high as 30 feet rushing into coastal cities. In addition to official live TV coverage, the popularity of cell phones in Japan made the tsunami one of the most recorded natural disasters in history. The harrowing videos shocked the world, but also gave an unprecedented first-hand look at the realities of such large-scale destruction. I don't know what to tag this. Probably scary or plain. Comcast broadcast pornography in Arizona during the 2009 Super Bowl. A prank that took over the airwaves in Tucson during the 2009 Super Bowl made Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction 5 years earlier seem like a load of fuss over nothing, which it was. A malicious prankster managed to disrupt KVOA's signal for 10 seconds with footage from the porno Wild Cherries 5. Comcast was forced to give its 80,000 subscribers in the area a $10 credit to their bill for making the mistake, and Frank Tenori Gonzalez, a former cable employee, was apprehended 2 years later following an investigation by the FBI. A banker caught watching porn at work. Despite knowing that his company had a news team in for a live executive interview, one banker at the Australian firm Macquarie Private Wealth just couldn't resist going through some of his NSFW emails. While his colleague gives a televised interview to the 7 News studio, a man in the background can be seen loading up a risque image of model Miranda Kerr. He spends a good 10 seconds staring at the image. During this time, another co-worker is talking to him behind the monitor before he loads up another one and then another. Just as the interview was coming to a close, the man spins his head around with a rabbit in the headlights look to realize that he has been on the air the whole time. The Max Headroom Incident. The Max Headroom Incident is arguably the most well-known broadcast signal intrusion ever made. On November 22, 1987, WGN-TV in Chicago was disrupted during the evening news and had the signal replaced by a 15-second transmission of someone wearing a Max Headroom mask and jumping around. After the hijack had been stopped, the signal returned to sports anchor Dan Roan, who said, "Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I." 2 hours later, during an episode of Doctor Who on station WTTW, the signal was again hijacked by the same person for almost 90 seconds. During the broadcast, the prankster made weird noises, flipped off the camera, complained about his piles, and had strange things to say about the Chicago Tribune. He then lowered his pants and had his bare butt spanked with a fly swatter by a woman wearing a French-maid outfit before the transmission returned to the Doctor Who episode. Almost 20 years on, and no one knows who carried out the hijack, and it is still one of the most bizarre things to happen on broadcast television. Anyways, thanks for tuning in to today's video. If you stayed till the end, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and share with your friends while I catch you in the next video.